Friends, good to see you again, and so thankful that you've chosen to spend this time that we call a moment with the Master. We talked with you before about friendships and how valuable friendships are, and some people don't know how to be a friend. And one person who was like that in the Bible was what we know as the Apostle Paul. When we first read of Paul, Paul was not a friend. He was an enemy, particularly to those who loved the Lord and to those who were Christians. In fact, he had no friends. He was going around abusing and dragging people out of their homes, separating families because of his religion. He had no friends, and he would travel around and nobody would travel with him. And that's the Apostle Paul. But then Jesus got a hold of him. And the Bible says God knocked him down and blinded him and told him that living a friendless life of hurting people, abusing people, that is not why I created you. I created you to bring people into the family of God and develop friendships that will last not just a lifetime, but eternity. But Paul didn't know how to be a friend. So the Bible says that when he got saved, there was a man named Barnabas who taught Paul how to be a friend. You know, a friend, the Bible says, is born, created out of hard times. And so when Paul first became a Christian, nobody wanted to be his friend. So the people in the religion that he was with formerly, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Jewish religion, that religion that used him to hurt people, once he became a Christian, they didn't want to have anything to do with him. In fact, they followed him and was trying to hurt him. So he had no friends in his former religion. And then Christians, particularly the ones in Jerusalem, they didn't want to be a friend with him because they remembered how he abused and put in jail people they loved. They said, this guy. So when he became a Christian, nobody trusted him. Nobody wanted to be his friend from the former religion or the new religion because Christians did not trust him. So God sent a man by the name of Barnabas. And the word Barnabas means encourager. And he taught him how to be a friend. I'm going to read some characteristics of a friend that I believe that Barnabas taught Paul. First of all, he was a friend in difficult times. And sometimes the deepest friendships are developed when we're going through hard times, grief, loss, sickness, loss of a job. And God will send someone by your side. And that's what Barnabas did. He became Paul's friend at his most difficult time. Also, a friend will forgive you. Barnabas forgave Paul. He was also called Saul. He forgave him for all the Christians that Paul had hurt and had a part in killing before Paul himself became a Christian. So he forgave him for his mistakes. And a friend will forgive you for your mistakes. A friend will think about you before themselves. A friend will remember things about you. They know who you are. A friend can see your gifts. Barnabas could see the gifts that Paul had in him. You can trust a friend. A friend is somebody you could trust. And friends keep their promises. They keep their promises. Friends are honest with you. Even though Barnabas was a friend of Paul, there were some times when he had to be honest with Paul in the book of Acts, because a friend will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. A friend will never ridicule you in public, and they will never highlight your weaknesses in public. They will make time for you. Barnabas did all this for Saul. Friends, you can trust them with your darkest secrets, and they'll never use it to hurt you. And they will be with you even at your worst, and they want you to succeed. These are things that Barnabas taught Paul. He taught Paul how to be a friend. And what Barnabas did when nobody in Jerusalem the leading preachers, Peter, Andrew, James, and John, none of them wanted to deal with Paul. With Paul, Barnabas, they all knew Barnabas and they trusted Barnabas. Barnabas was a good man. Barnabas got Paul and brought him to Jerusalem and told all the church leaders, take him in for me. I vouch for him. Accept him the way you've accepted me. You know, there was a man by the name of Joseph Scriven. And Joseph Scriven, he immigrated to Canada, but he had a lot of tragedy in his life. He was engaged to be married, but his fiancée drowned the night before their wedding. The night before the wedding, she drowned. He fell in love again. And the second fiancée, just right before the wedding, she took a serious illness and she died. They didn't have penicillin and things like that. And so he devoted his life to a life of service and helping others. So out of his loss, he did that. And he used to write poems. And he wrote a poem called What a Friend We Have in Jesus. He wrote that in 1855. And later on, another man after he died, after Joseph Scriven died, somebody found that poem he wrote, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, and all the verses to that poem, and then gave it to a man by the name of Charles Converse. And Charles Converse was a musician, and he put the words of that poem to music. And now that song, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, that song has been an encouragement to millions and millions of people. Friends, you have a friend in Jesus, and he can handle anything that life puts on you. He will never leave you, and he will never forsake you. Thank you very much.